Hey there. Good morning, folks. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Good to see a few of you on there early this morning. Welcome along. Great to have you here. While things are getting a little warmed up, we might just do the quick intros and do the say hellos, whatever that might look like. Morning, David. How are you, mate? Good to have you here. Alex is in the house as well. Alex, good morning to you, mate. Facebook playing up on you. Sometimes it does, doesn't it? Welcome along, folks. Jason Witten's my name. If you didn't already know it, most of you do, though, but there it is on the screen, just in case you forgot. Welcome to our Wealth Coffee Chat. What do we do each morning? Well, most mornings. On Thursday and Friday, wasn't around. Had a couple of days down in Byron. Was hanging out with Andy Fenton and my mate Kerwin Ray, and we did a little bit of stuff on the world of business and creating some wealth through business. So that was kind of fun. Some of you might have been involved in that. Some of you might not have been. Morning, Sonny. Morning, Facebook user, whoever that is. Hello, morning to you. Good to see you. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining this morning, team. Thought I would maybe just circle around today on a little something that we did on Thursday and Friday. Let you guys know what we're up to and maybe see if it's kind of useful. As investors, we always need to know a few things about what's going on out there in the world of business, wealth, property, investing, and see where they kind of intersect, see where some of the strategies and ideas across different places and spaces might work for us, folks. So there you go. That's what I thought we might chat around today. Yes, we are trying to organise the old Wealth, Wine and Wisdom back very soon, David. Yes, we're trying to get that back on track. It's been a bit of a wobbly one for the last few months, but it is on the radar. That is for sure. But today, I thought we might talk about what we talked a little bit about on Thursday and Friday, which is what I call the 5 big weapons of wealth, folks. The 5 big weapons of wealth. Now, for many of us, we can have access to these 5 big weapons of wealth, whether we're business owners or not. 4 of them are applicable to anybody. But what do I mean by a weapon of wealth? We've just coined a bit of a phrase. The 5 simple, straightforward, powerful ideas that everyone can be taking advantage of when it comes to the creation of wealth in our world. Now, there's a little bit of a combination of structures, investments, ideas, whatever. But really, at the end of the day, what is the biggest eroder? Tell me in the chat. What is the biggest eroder? Is that even a word? What is the largest eroder of wealth in most average Australians, folks? Like what process takes the most money out of your pocket in your lifetime? Tell me in the chat. What is it? There's the number one physical remover of cash out of your world. You might earn $100, and then what happens? You might create, make, earn something, but somebody gets a piece of it way before you do. And David is on it early this morning. Yes, indeed it is. Who takes a big chunk of your dollars and cents when it comes to the world of, your world? Well, the ATO doesn't mind their share, do they? I'm just going to quickly find a little something here, which was pretty interesting from the other day. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Have a little look at this. Because how much, tell me in the chat, folks, what do you guys think? Tell me, do you know how much individuals, so of recent times, how much as individuals we paid in tax as a percentage of the total revenue, the total tax revenue, folks, that came in? What percentage? Tell me, folks, what percentage did we pay? Let's say there's 100%. Let's say there was $680 billion. $680 billion collected by the ATO. How much did you pay? How much did you and me pay as individuals? What did we pay? What did we stump up, folks? Out of $680 billion, how much did we contribute to the country? Tell me in the chat. Any ideas? Chuck a percentage in if you want. Individuals putting dollars in the taxman's coffer. What did we cough up? Anyone want to have a guess? I know maybe you don't want to have a guess because it's too terrifying. But here's the drill. Check out this. $325 billion from individual income tax. Individual. So number one. Thanks, team. You guys are legends. Well done, every single one of you. And who comes up next? Who comes up next, folks? Who chips in after that? Business tax, company, resource, rent taxes, business taxes, and then individual taxes. There you go. So it would make sense, right? Out of $133 billion, out of $325 billion, that if we can maybe keep a little bit more than we're giving away, and would that make a bit of sense? What do you reckon? I reckon we need to know how to do that. And so, the idea, folks, as investors or, individuals, how can we create wealth into the future without giving too much away? And we say, I've said this heaps of times. Andy says it as well. It's not about how much you keep, but it's not about how much you make, but it's about how much you keep. All right. The idea is keeping more. So wanted to talk you guys through the 4/big 5 weapons of wealth today. And many of you guys have heard these before, but what are they, folks? Tell me, what is the simplest, easiest weapon of wealth that anyone can invest in or accelerate at this moment in time? Now, there's a combination of ideas here. So what do you guys think? Number one, what's the easiest one? You don't have to borrow. You don't have to do anything. It's a very efficient place to create wealth. Now, the challenge with it is that it's for later, but let's have a crack. Let's have a crack. Let's see if you guys can take a look at the 5 big weapons of wealth in here. Chuck it in the chat for me. All right. Number 1, number 2, pop it in there. See if you guys have got an idea of what it might be. What are the places or things that we can invest in that would be very tax efficient and awesome for later? Boom. David's on it all over. You don't have to do anything with this one. You just got to know that it's possible to plant some seeds in your super, and later on into the future, what's the benefit of this? On the way in to your super, the tax rates are 10 and 15%, depending on if you make a capital gain. Precious metals. Well, maybe that might be true, Friedrich, but I don't think precious metals will have a tax rate later on of what's a tax rate, folks. You can have, as an individual, $1.9 million in there, and it is what? Tell me in the chat. Why is it good? Because it is one of the only places that you can have tax-free stuff, right? On the way in, you've got to pay a little bit, but on the way out, if you manage it properly, you make sure you do it well, there's enough in there, you can have quite a significant amount of money in your superannuation, capital gains tax-free, income tax-free. Now, this is not financial advice, blah, 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 blah. This is just a statement. This is a statement of fact. And you can go and check it out on the government's website of what the benefit of owning assets inside of there is and putting money into there in the right way, right? Number 2, what's the next one? What's the next weapon of wealth that most people are involved in? And quite seriously, folks, quite seriously, most of you should be doing this. And if you're not, then get on it. But some people, get a bit stuck on this one. What's another tax-free asset? Tax-free. Now, capital gains tax-free. Let's be specific. What can you own? What can you buy? Tax-free as a, what can you own? What can you buy? Most of you should be all over this like a rash. I don't know. Is that a good saying? That's not a very good saying, is it? What is it? What's something that you should be owning? PPR. David's all over it this morning as well. Your principal place of residence, folks. No capital gains tax. 0 CGT. 0 capital gains tax. Okay, which is great. So for many of us, we might need to understand what that means when it comes to the things that we might buy, the things that we might look into, folks, into the future. Now, I would expect many of you are already all over that one, or those two as you go along. The idea that, you can buy some of these things and, create something pretty nice. Now, let's talk about the next few things as we toddle along, this happens for business owners predominantly. So there's 2 things in the world of business. Well, there's one thing, and it's kind of divided into 2. Does anyone know what you can do when it comes to being a business owner, and you can have some tax-free advantages? Let's go tax-free advantages, folks. Anybody know? Where else can you get, actually, before we go to that one, where else can you get a 0 tax up to a certain amount of money? Anyone know? Anybody know how much money you can earn at a 0 tax rate at this moment in time? 0% tax. Your personal income. The tax rate up to, I think it's 18,500 plus some other low tax offsets. 0 tax, folks. Okay, so in the future, you can earn 0 tax on your personal income. A small amount. That's fine. It's not going to save the, it's not going to knock things out of the park, but it's still one place you can do that. And what are the other 2 places? This is for business owners right now. If you haven't got a thought in your mind, I'll tell you what they are. Business owners can sell a business depending on, they've got to qualify. There's a few qualifications for this one. You've got to own a business for 15 years and so on. But most business owners, run their businesses for, 10, 15, 20 years. They can sell their business capital gains tax-free. And depending on how that is sold and what it is done, you can get up to, I'm told by a few of my compadres, $5 to $6 million tax-free, depending on how that's sold. Now, that's pushing it, but at the end of the day, folks, many million, let's go $2 million tax-free. Who'd like $2 million tax-free as a business owner? I would. And if you know what you're doing and your business grows and you could sell it into the future, that's fantastic. The challenge is for most business owners, their business isn't worth $2 million. Their business isn't worth $2 million. So what is a smart move? What's a smart move, folks? What's a very smart move for a business owner? Now, it might be one or two business owners on this morning. What's a smart move for business owners when it comes to their business? Let's say maybe they couldn't sell their business for $2, $3, $4 million in the future, but they could own something that then forms part of their business value in the future. What would that be? Does anybody know? It's like the principal place of residence theory. Jeff, how are you, mate? Chuck that in the chat for me if you know what it is. So you can own a commercial commercial property, or a property which you run your business from, folks. And when you own your business, real estate, and again, qualifications in this, run your business for 15 years, you've got to use that property for 7 years, and there's some certain rules around bits and pieces. Well, this is pretty cool. That property, that commercial property, can form part of your asset base as a business owner. Voila, away you go. So, pretty awesome idea. Okay, so let's just review this quickly and have a look. You could have an amount of super up to $1.9 million tax-free, a principal place of residence, unlimited amount tax-free. And just so we're clear too, when you sell your business, there's a net assets test, right? So it's like, all right, well, you can't be worth more than $6 million net assets. Well, what's excluded? Your super is excluded, and your principal place of residence is excluded. That's pretty cool, right? So check it out. So we go, all right, you can earn a small amount of money tax-free. You could sell your business tax-free, and you could sell your commercial property tax-free. Now, I probably wouldn't be selling the commercial property, but, you never know. That might be worth doing, rolling over, getting a big chunk of cash, roll it into your super, all sorts of stuff, right? So there you go. Weapons of wealth. What can you do when it comes to creating that? Well, anyone in the world of PAYG, well, you can do super, no problem. You can do your principal place of residence, capital gains tax, and you can use the no tax threshold, and the other one that you can use, as we all know, is buying properties, which can reduce your income tax because of depreciation. We haven't even started on that one, have we? So here's a little diagram that we help our business owners with. If you're a business owner out there right now this morning, well, here's an idea that you might want to think about. The idea that you can split this into, how do you structure your income? How do you structure the asset part of what you're going to do? And then, this is where, live, life, and legacy. The idea of what are you going to do with your time and your resources once you put this into place. We're going to run a little bit of a course, a program on that. A few of you guys might have attended our webinar on Friday, which was kind of cool for business owners. If you didn't, give us a shout out if you're interested for the link, or you want to know a little bit more about it. But there you go. Anyway, today, weapons of wealth, the big ones. We can all take advantage of them. They're pretty important. And check out how much tax we all paid. I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of all of that tax going to the government. And what do they give us back in return for it? Very little. But there you go. Anyway, all right, folks, that's it from me this morning. Wealth Coffee Chat's done and dusted. Join me tomorrow for another one. If you're up for it, we might get into it, find out what else is going on in the market. Let me know in the chat if you've got something that that's on your mind. Pretty interesting times right now. We've got the spring selling season. We've got a little bit of stock on the market. I think the market's going to warm up and get a little bit of a rattle on, a little bit of a wriggle on soon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in these next couple of months. But everyone's holding their bated breath for interest rates. I think they look like they're on pause for the moment. Happy days. All right, folks, that's it from me. Done and dusted this morning. Thanks for joining me. Remember, got a couple of sayings around here. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. Creating wealth through real estate takes some time, folks. Takes some time. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You know the drill. Buy a good quality property and keep the damn thing. That's what I say. Everything else is a bit more complicated. I like it pretty simple and straightforward, personally. There you go. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me today. Done and dusted. Over and out. See you tomorrow. Till then, you guys take care. Bye for now.